Coming up on the Stifel Snow Show, she's topping the charts at every turn. Mikaela Shiffrin's giving us a beat. Her World Cup record just skipped to the top, and the slopes are alive to the tune of 156 podiums. And she's freestyling and hitting all the right notes. Testing 1, 2, 3 crystal globes for Jaelin Kauf. With tricks on key, her results are starting to play like history in the making. And snowboard great Maddie Mastro rocking the White Album. The Olympic athlete just tore it up at the Snow League, and she's with us today. That's music to our ears. Let's do this. Pleasure to have you with us today. Welcome to the Stifel Snow Show. I'm Paul Burmeister. With the conclusion of World Cup season in our midst, you'd think the action would be winding down. On the contrary, these athletes' journeys continue to take shape as we set our sights on 2026 Milan Cortina. And with the Snow League and World Championship action in the mix, the stakes and stories continue to rise. With that, let's see where the members of the U.S. ski and snowboard team were competing recently. We're heading cross-country to Trondheim, Norway. And men's Alpine getting us up to speed in Kvitfjell, Norway. Then we're bringing it up a notch in RA, Sweden with women's Alpine. We've got moguls and aerials putting Livigno, Italy to the test. On to Para Snowboard and Big White in British Columbia, Canada. And we're dropping in stateside snowboard action in Aspen, Colorado. Let's start there. That's where Olympic legend Shaun White is debuting the Snow League, his highly anticipated event featuring some of the world's top snowboarders competing head-to-head in the halfpipe. Think innovation competition formats with matchups reminiscent of brackets for those March Madness fans out there. It certainly was no surprise to see Wrightwood, California's Maddie Mastro take the inaugural scene by storm.
It's not that serious.
With her 2025 women's halfpipe crystal globe still freshly gleaming, two-time Olympian Mastro was ready to drop in by reminding herself to stay true to her love for the sport with her mantra, "It's not that serious," thus leaving more time to enjoy the highlights. Earned by landing all her runs in the final, giving her top qualifier status. Not to mention having to drop in from both sides, orienting oneself, yet another challenge. Mastro took second to Japan's Seina Tomita, telling NBC's On Her Turf that she was super happy while shouting out appreciation for her friends, family, and coaches. Looking forward to hearing about that and much more as we welcome Maddie. We appreciate you being here and spending time with us.
Of course, thanks for having me. I'm excited to chat.
Absolutely. Certainly looks like you're off to a wonderful start. How do you feel about the Snow League results?
I'm super happy. It was something completely different and a whole new challenge for all of us athletes. For me, it was kind of this unknown of how this new contest was going to go and how I was going to do or what it looked like completely. So to walk away from the first one with the second place was kind of a nice little relaxing moment of like, okay, it's just snowboarding. We know how to do it, different format, but all good. So it was good to figure that contest out a little bit and walk away with the second.
Yeah, understandable. Great start. There's a really unexpected moment I'd like us to take a look at here together. A spectator dropped a helmet, and you had to really think fast and react fast, too. Let's go ahead and roll the video. We can all watch it together, and you can tell us what was happening here.
Yeah, so I had this one extra hit I decided to do because I had more half pipe than I realized, and I looked up, and originally I thought there was a drone because we had been being filmed by drones all day. And I thought they had landed the drone in the flat bottom, and I was immediately kind of scared and confused and had to think fast and ollie it. Thankfully, it wasn't a drone. It was just a helmet, because if I didn't clear the drone, I was worried about, like, I don't know, would I have to pay for the drone if I destroyed the drone? But I'm happy it was just a helmet, and I thought fast enough to get over it. It was a little alarming and startling at first, hence why it sounded like I was a little angry there. It wasn't angry. I was just confused and caught off guard. But it was just a helmet, thankfully.
Of course, we can't forget about the World Cup season. Of course, your crystal globe. Congratulations, first of all. You've been open about your progression and challenges also along the way. I'd like to hear more about that.
Yeah, this was my first crystal globe that I've ever won. It's been my whole career has its highs and lows and ups and downs, and I feel like I was always like really close. I've always gotten like the second or the third, or all these pieces never really quite came together. So to have them come together and get a globe and like see it looking on my shelf was really exciting. It's something that I didn't know I really wanted until I was getting all these seconds and thirds, and then I was like, okay, I want one of those big globes. I'm very grateful that I was able to put in the hard work and have it pay off the last season. Recently,
you called the double crippler your favorite trick. Any insight into your trick progression and inspiration to throw doubles?
Yeah, so growing up, the boys were always doing doubles. I always wanted to do a double. I saw the boys and I thought, like, if they can do it, why can't I? And then I've watched a few women here and there either attempt a double or do some version of a double growing up. And eventually I just decided it was my turn, that I wanted to do it. And now it's become one of my staple favorite tricks to do. When I do it right, nothing compares to the feeling of doing a double. I get this like huge dopamine rush from doing doubles and having that fear and conquering it. I think doubles are the future of my snowboarding and hopefully women's snowboarding as a whole.
Bringing it back to where it starts, revisiting your mantra, before you drop in, you say, it's not that serious.
It's just snowboarding. I get to have fun. It's not that serious.
What's behind that for you?
I think for me, there was a course of my snowboarding for a few years there where I took it really serious. And the last 2-ish years, I've kind of changed my whole perspective on snowboarding of like, it's just snowboarding. It's not that serious. Like, this is literally just snowboarding. We're strapping on a plank of wood to our feet and we're going snowboarding. Doesn't have to be any more serious than that. It's just about being fun, and it helps keep me a little more relaxed and at ease and not get too like hyper fixated and focused on any outcome, whether I fall or land or whatever it may be. And so, yeah, I've been saying that. I say that before I drop in at every contest.
Thank you for your time, Maddie.
Thank you so much, guys. Good chatting.
We've got another leader and legend to talk about as we switch gears into alpine skiing after the break. We're talking Mikaela Shiffrin. We'll be right back.
Mikaela Shiffrin, the greatest World Cup skier of all time.
Two episodes ago, we were joined by the one and only Mikaela Shiffrin after her 100th World Cup win, having tied an all-time World Cup record for men and women with her 155th career podium, matching Sweden's Ingemar Stenmark, who previously praised Shiffrin for writing her own new beautiful story. Now in RA Sweden, the venue where she celebrated 7 wins, including her 87th, seems there's no story end in sight for the recently turned 30-year-old skiing great. Happy birthday, Mikaela. You are our Stifel Star of the Week. Positioned for a Stenmark tiebreak in RA, Shiffrin set the pace skiing strong from the gate, but began to lose a little bit of her lead in the middle of the course. RA, the site of Shiffrin's first World Cup victory in December 2012. She skied each turn with aggression for the remainder of the run, saying, I feel pretty proud that I was pushing. Teammate Paula Moltzen, who took 3rd in the last slalom race in Sestriere, had a strong start, saying she was happy to come down in the green light. Moltzen would take 6th, her 5th top 10 of the season in the discipline. Skiing with grit this season in spite of her injury, Shiffrin took the 3rd spot on the podium. 156 career podiums officially resets the record for the most Alpine World Cup podiums ever. Shiffrin having accomplished it 2 years after breaking Stenmark wins record of 86. Now for our Fast Facts, powered by iFit, where we look at the all-time podiums count. Shiffrin, who, as we've noted, just turned 30, has made the podium in nearly 56% of her 280 career World Cup starts, dating back to 2011, including 75% in slalom. The Edwards, Colorado native is expected to wrap the season with one more race on March 27th, also in a slalom at the Stifel Sun Valley Finals. March being Women's History Month, also in RA, a great time to notice significant Stifel heroic moment. Mikaela Shiffrin's head coach, Karen Harjo, becoming the first woman to set a World Cup giant slalom. No stranger to pushing boundaries for women. Prior as Canada's coach, Harjo became the second woman ever to lead a World Cup team. Speaking of giant slalom, Paula Moltzen again would impress in Sweden. This season, Moltzen's giant slalom skiing has reached new heights, securing her first giant slalom podium in Kronplatz and later becoming a World Championship bronze medalist in the Saalbach GX. Moltzen performed with focus throughout, saying, "Coming down in the green is a great feeling." She took 6th. Teammate Elizabeth Bocock showing precision, coming off her World Juniors bronze medals in GS and mixed team parallel, also pushed hard, taking 14th. Her first ever World Cup top 15 and career best result to date. This season, we introduced you to U.S. ski team sister trio, the Masugas. Sibling power themes abound. Elizabeth Bocock is sister to Mary, also an Alpine skier on the team. And like the Masuga sisters in our last episode, we had a lot of fun inviting the Bocock sisters into our Stifel spotlight via a little competition we are calling the Bocock Sisters Game.
Shabuya!
Who's the best dancer?
I have better rhythm. I have better rhythm than she is.
But you have a good dance move that she pulls out every time.
Oh, yeah.
Who's the best gift giver?
I'm so good at gifts, and every year Mary hypes herself up about the gift she gives me, and for my birthday, she gave me an HDMI cord.
Who has the best closet?
Thanks to the great gift she gives me.
Who's the biggest cheerleader?
Elizabeth is very supportive of me, and I try to be supportive of her, too.
The two Bocock sisters here, both making their World Cup debut today.
Making our World Cup debut together was an awesome experience. I'm really glad we got to have each other because it was very overwhelming. I've obviously never been exposed to that type of environment, and so it was really comforting to have Elizabeth.
It was kind of a big ordeal for my family. My brother came over. It was kind of like ease the stress for one person because there were 2 of us to watch. And it was so fun to like celebrate with our family afterwards. Mary gets mad at me the day of the race because I take it too seriously and I'm not any fun to be around. So we don't hang out that much.
We warm up together, we have the same technician. So we actually do spend a lot of time together
that day, but we don't have as much fun doing it together because of me.
Because she's not that fun.
Like me, you probably noticed the Bocock sisters align on every answer, timing their letter rays in almost perfect sync as well. Switching gears now as we head to Kvitfjell, Norway, in a men's downhill where 2-time Olympian Bryce Bennett was decidedly intent on building some training prior to his race. Having the edge of skiing this track many times before, Bennett came out determined to execute strong from top to bottom. Last season, he was 4th in a downhill at the same venue. And although he got low in a few spots, overall he was able to recover without losing an abundance of time. The Truckee, California native saying, "It was decent, just some minor mistakes, which have been plaguing me all season. But I know the skiing is there and it's just putting down a clean run." Teammate and Olympic silver medalist Ryan Cochran-Siegel also came prepared with a dynamic perspective to his day, despite poor snow conditions near the start. "I tried to have a good, smooth approach given the conditions up top. I didn't make the best turn off that key pitch, so I think there's some time to be found there, but overall, I was trusting in my movements." RCS's last downhill podium at Val Gardena, where he took third back in December. Bennett and Cochran Siegel led the way for the U.S. speed skiers in 7th and 10th respectively. Now at Sun Valley, awaiting a World Cup final. Looks like RCS and friends found a little time to enjoy a top 3 day on skis. Back with some moguls action shortly. With over 1 million views on social, it's like being in Livigno, Italy for fans across the globe, where 2022 Beijing Olympian Dylan Walczak took us on an eye-popping and very bumpy POV moguls ride. A now viral preview of the Olympic venue course, no less, with one person commenting, "My knees hurt watching this." Walczak going on to take 4th in dual moguls. That was his season best. Well, the women's moguls team has given us lots to talk about this season on the Stifel Snow Show. And one U.S. athlete in particular has arguably led the way in impressions over that time. Jaelin Kauf coming to the Livigno Olympic test event already with 12 podiums this season, and she was about to wow again in moguls alongside some other stellar performances. One of those, that of Tess Johnson, who on social reminisced about falling in love with the sport years ago, sometimes practicing, as we just saw, on her stairs. Props to Johnny Mosley, who she cited as inspiration. In what was her 100th World Cup start, she remarked, "Little me had no idea how spectacular the journey would be." Against a picture-perfect backdrop with the highest air scores of the day, Johnson sailed through her run, calling it both surreal and emotional. Next up, Jaelin Kauf in yellow, signifying her lead in the mogul standings. A season's worth of accumulated drive and perseverance hung in the balance as the Alta, Wyoming native slayed the superfinal. The 28-year-old saying, "I was just trying to attack the whole way and not leave anything out there." She became the first American to win a moguls Crystal Globe since Hannah Carney in 2015. Kauf now with a hat trick of season titles, no less. Johnson took third. And the men also bringing their all to the first World Cup held in Livigno since 2000, cementing an overall incredible day for American freestyle skiing. Notably, Charlie Mickel gunning for his first career podium. The 20-year-old from Durango, Colorado, stoking the fire in the super final. Taking third, Mickel remaining measured while looking towards world champs, saying, "No expectations, I just hope to ski my best." But his smile would betray his excitement atop the podium alongside some well-regarded moguls legends. In the last episode, we reported Jaelin Kauf's position as both the dual moguls and overall World Cup leader, clinching 2 Crystal Globes prior to moguls competition. Exhilarating with 6 new Olympic medals up for grabs by the world's greatest mogul skiers at the upcoming 2026 Milan Cortina Olympic Winter Games, as dual moguls has been added to the list of official events.
What do you think of dual moguls coming to the Olympics?
Oh, dual moguls being added to the next Olympics is a dream come true.
I am so excited for dual moguls in the Olympics.
Here we go. Ali Masuga and Jaelin Kauf will duel it off.
It's so entertaining to watch. There's 2 people neck and neck going down this mogul course with 2 jumps and bumps and going as fast as they can.
Masuga's one of the few athletes in the world who can keep pace with Kauf.
You're not trying to perfect your run, you're just trying to beat the person next to you.
You're throwing it all out there. You don't know what the other person's gonna do. Even if you completely mess up, you keep going, you could win. It's so exciting.
It just has this level of excitement and energy. We're all gonna love it as athletes have another event, and the crowd is gonna love it.
I love watching it. I'm sure all the other people are gonna love watching it. And I especially wanna be in it so people can watch me. Very exciting news.
'26 Milan Cortina can't come soon enough. The test event in Livigno returning energy on the women's side is Australia's Charlotte Wilson paired with Kauf. Wilson, who became the first Australian to be named World Mogul Skiing Rookie of the Year just 24 hours prior, was about to cap off an exceptional debut season. 20-year-old Wilson taking the top spot, saying, "It was crazy just to be able to keep up with Jaelin, let alone win." Kauf in second, returning with, "It's super fun to watch Charlotte get her first podium." Kauf accepted both her dual moguls and overall globes at the venue, a culmination which included her 14th podium on the season and 50th of her career. We'll be right back. Now to Big White, British Columbia, Canada, and the Welcome to Paradise FIS Para Snowboard World Championships. Gotta love an intersection of names like Big White and Welcome to Paradise. So welcome to the paradise that doubles as a demanding bank slalom and snowboard cross course as well. With the 2026 Paralympic Winter Games in sight, we turn our attention to some of the U.S. stars of Para Snowboard. First up, two-time Paralympian Noah Elliott. In the bank slalom, 2018 Paralympic gold medalist and last season's Crystal Globe winner in this event. The St. Charles, Missouri native then moving into snowboard cross, having nailed the bronze in that event also in 2018. Elliott bringing home silver in the SBLL1 class of snowboard cross and bronze in bank slalom. Then to women's snowboard cross, where powerhouse Brenna Huckaby would recover after a competitor collided with her, ultimately finding her way back to bronze, a testament to her strength in the discipline. Teammate Kate Delson took second. And back to the men, where Zach Miller, who just celebrated his 26th birthday, said he was stoked to take bronze in bank slalom in the SBLL2 classification, his 6th career World Championship medal. This calls for a celebratory handshake with teammate Joe Pleben, of course. Happy birthday, Zach. Can't leave you without a major shout out to Norway's cross-country great Johannes Hasflot Clavo, the 28-year-old with an unprecedented sweep of all 6 gold medals at the World Championships in his hometown of Trondheim. Calling it more than he ever allowed himself to hope for, Clavo posting, "I have imagined this moment a million times, but I still can't believe it's real." That's all for this week's Stifel Snow Show. We look forward to seeing you again for our March 22nd episode on CNBC and at Sun Valley for World Cup Finals. I'm Paul Burmeister, leaving you with some memorable podium moments. We'll see you next time.